YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Twitch, say hi to YouTube. We're recording right now. We're recording, and this is going on YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you hit the sub button. Here we go. This is recap round 9. Recap round 9. So this is the first game. We have Fabi and Jan here. Of course, I don't want to look at it from Jan's point of view because this was there was some wild stuff. Hi, Tube Service. What's up, Chaz? All right, so e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, right? We got the Petrov. Knight takes d6. This is all theory, obviously. And Jan has some great games with the Petrov. Also, Fabi, who used to be a Petrov player as well. Knight takes c4, d4, and d5. Easy stuff. We're going to play bishop d6, castle, c6, bishop f5, or g4, stuff like that. Bishop d6. Castles, I think against, well, it was a different line, but bishop g4 was played in certain position. I can't remember how that game went with Jan and Nepo. I mean, Jan and Nepo, wow. Jan and Richard Rapport. But after castles, c4. After c4, c6, rook e1, and a bishop f5. So defending, and then we got rook e8, knight d7, queen c7, I mean, easy stuff to play. Queen to b3, threatening the b7 pawn. And then queen to d7, defending it. Pretty easy stuff. Knight h4. I think Nepo was actually starting to get low on time somewhere in here. Yeah, he thought right here this was his first thing, where he was kind of out of book. And actually Bach pointed out that this right here in the database was only played one time by a man named Rosman, last name. Anybody know who that might be? Right? Levy, right? Psych. It was not Levy. It was a different Rosman. Actually, it was a different Rosman. That's what, it was not the same Rosman we know today. So, but the knight h4 was played in the database there, and then bishop to e6, backing that way up, right? And allowing him to take, but me and Bach looked at this too, like, if you take, I mean, there's just too much compensation. It doesn't feel right. You're also giving up the bishop here. I also see b5 there. For instance, take, rook takes, and you immediately b5 is already something I can play. Engine agrees. b5, you also have knight a6, but b5 highlights the fact this is a problem. Knight d2, I'm not sure what happens here. Engine says knight a6. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure yet, but definitely the likelihoods of black looking good there. Yo, shout out to you, veteran Fisher. What you just buy, bro? Oh, he just copped him a snapback too. So you got a COE snapback. Shout out to him. Of course, if you're on YouTube too as well, you can copy some gear. Shop Canty merch. Use code WINNER so you can get 15% off. So here we go. All right, bishop to e6. And queen c2. So he gets out of the way. I love this next move. Actually, knight a6, which intention is knight b4. Very easy. a3 stops it. And then here we go. f5. Jan out here pushing big boy chess. Okay. He is the tournament leader and plays f5. Very strong move here. Very fun. And of course, f3 was looking crazy. There's all kind of stuff. Like f3 right now is hit with queen c7, I think, right? Me and Bach looked at this earlier. It was a queen c7 line. Maybe not here. But there is a queen c7 line. Is it here? And then, yeah. And g3, and you take with the bishop. I thought you took with the bishop. Yeah, it's bishop g3, pawn takes, queen takes, right? You get this position where everything's hanging, but you have to go knight g2, and then I can probably take on f3. But I just got 3 pawns for the piece, and this is hard to see. I mean, the pieces aren't like for black aren't the greatest, but I do have like this pawn mass. This is hard. Like I don't have to take these kind of risks. Says Jan. So after f5, pawn takes. Knight c3, and then rook a to c8, putting some pressure on the c file, obviously, right? And then f3. So he finally plays f3 here. This one got crazy. I think, what did we look at? Me and Bach looked at a line with bishop e7. Yeah, that was it. And that's what he played, right? So bishop e7 being the move, hitting the knight. After g3, the move here, believe it or not, is supposed to be bishop f6. Bro, sacking a whole piece like ain't nothing happened against Fabiano Caruana. Bro, you have lost your mind if you think you're about to do this. He didn't, but it was just, we just want to see it, right? Takes. Actually, you can take on, I think, d4. No, you had to take here first because there were some lines with bishop d4 and like some queen a4. Something's wrong. But after here, you have to take here. This is the most accurate. And after takes, then we can take on d4, move the king. And somehow this is equal, bro. Like, it looks like sort of if you looked at the last recap or you looked at any of the games with the last round, Fabiano and Hikaru playing Fabi. Kind of looks like that in a position where, yes, white's up a piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But black has a mass center, both the bishops and some pressure. But it's not over. Like, I mean, it's a long shot. And if you're wrong or inaccurate, you could actually lose being down the piece. So he didn't go for this. He's like, bro, I'm not trying to go for that craziness. Like, I'm leading the candidates. I'm not about to go crazy out here. Bruh. So he goes he goes knight back to d6 and says, it's whatever. Look, I got the black pieces. I don't have to do this. I don't have to play too risky. And he plays queen to a4. But here, let me go back. Flip the board. Engine improved, actually. And it was queen e2 here. Queen e2 was a move that we looked at, me and Bach. Queen e2, which is nice, hitting e6, hitting e7. Right? And then you have knight c7. Which was pretty cool move. Look at this, right? And then you hit him with knight takes d5. Woo! Boy, that's a move. Hitting, splitting. That is crazy. Knight takes d5. But it's equal. But the fact that this is like a move is spectacular. The reason why it's equal, though, is because after, I mean, either or. Let's take with the knight, right? Takes. Oh, sorry. And if you look at this, right? Look at this position. I mean, this isn't the easiest, you know, and they like white. They like white here. I think probably because of the bishop pair. So maybe let's go back. Maybe we'll take with the bishop then to try to keep the bishop pair. Queen takes. And this one's a little different. I probably actually kind of like this better because I do have a bishop. I am a fan of having a bishop. So, you know, it's a little bit better for me. I am a fan of the bishops, but this is what could have happened. Fabi didn't go for none of that. In fact, what he played was queen to a4, a little bit different. Then we do play bishop f6, so we can take on d4 with a check. Queen takes d7, bishop takes d7, knight takes d5. Look at this position. Takes, king g2, and there. How many pieces are on the file here, right? We were hoping for this right here. We were hoping for bishop d2. I mean, we really wanted this to happen. Reason being, we don't even care if it's wrong or not. We just wanted to do it for content right here, because the fact that, like, when do you ever see a, like, look at this. Bro, look at this. How are all the pieces on the... Bro, on the D file. Look at this game. This is crazy. You got all the pieces on the D file. That's so funny, bro. I've never seen a game like this, especially a high level game. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Yeah, that's funny. So he didn't play this though. I just wanted him to do it for content. He played bishop f4, hitting the knight. What did he play? Knight c5 here, but that's losing. So you have to move the knight, right? Got to move the knight. What did he do? Knight c5. He did go here. Oh, takes. That's fine. Interesting. Okay, so knight e7, king f7 with rook takes e7 intentions. Takes on f5. And what do we do? I don't remember some of this part. Rook takes e7. I just take, right? I could take on f5 though, which he does. Yeah, he takes with the knight. He takes with the knight. It's just kebab formation. It's just kebab formation, exactly. Takes. And we got this position where Jan is actually holding by a lot. Rook takes, and we can take on b2 now, but he goes knight d3. With the intention of I'm probably going to damage your structure first if you let me. But he takes here, and now I'm the one. They could be pushing for more. I got a queenside majority. I remember it probably started getting time trouble too. Probably definitely started getting time trouble. So bishop e3, bishop takes a3, and bishop takes a7. Rook a8 hits the bishop. We got the pass pawn. I thought actually Fabi was going to go down this game because of the fact that we do have a pass pawn. We could just push this boy. But not right now. Of course, there's threats like bishop g7, knight g7, whatever. But, I mean, bishop f8, bishop g7, though. Oh, he can check. The reason being is bishop g7 runs into rook check. This would probably be a draw. This would probably be a draw. Probably didn't want that. Rook d2, g6. So it's none of that. And then we probably push. Rook d8 now. Oh, we can't push. Yeah, that was probably his shot, huh? Yeah, that's probably his shot right now. Because after I saw this, and then the knight's probably going to swing in. And, I mean, you probably aren't pushing this pawn. But if you push it now, I mean, you have two free moves. You get b5. I mean, he's not stopping b4. He's not. So you get b4. And then if you get b3, you almost could get b2 in and even rook a2. This pawn is a force to be reckoned with. We play rook d8, bishop b6, rook d6, maybe knight c4, which was played. And you see how he defended? He didn't want you to push the pawn. Look how strong that was by Fabi. But if you would have pushed it before, it probably would have been a different game. Bishop g7, rook e6. Yeah, this is a draw now. He didn't trade him. Yeah, I mean, easy draw. Easy draw. He might have offered right there because this wasn't even 3 moves. And Jan was just ready to get out of there. He was just ready to get out of there. Like, all right, it's whatever. I'm on the back half. So I think he's just like, yo, y'all can't catch me. And like, I'm just going to be playing. I'm not going to play risky. I can just put, you know, with black, if I see my chances, I'm going to take them. But with black, I'll take draws here, which is, I mean, it's keeping him in the lead. So That was the first game. That was a draw. So we went through that one. Let's go through this ding game. We just kind of went through this or saw this. We saw this in live literally like 15 minutes ago. So, all right, we had an English, but it turned into a Catalan by transposition. Queen takes, queen c2, all theory. All theory. Knight c3, castles is good. d4. A lot of times you see e4 too, but d4 here is the better line. d4, bishop to b7. We have a trade, and honestly, Black's doing fine in these type of positions. I mean, Black's doing just as good. He's like, yo, I'm even. I'm equal just like you are, right? Pieces developed. I'm about to castle. Pawns are symmetrical. This is a great game. Queen c7. Rook d4. I thought this was brilliant. The reason being is you can't really attack it. You could play e5, but it makes that pawn weak. And I also can double the rooks, which is very, very strong. I mean, the fact that this is a symmetrical position and Ding was able to win this game, bro, is telling you a lot about, you know, chess, period, right? When you can play on and just having activity and better pieces can lead to advantages. I have a better rook than you do. I'm about to double this one, and then I'm already fully developed and castled. I mean, Black is one move away from completing development and then maybe bringing the rooks to the center, but I do like White for the chances that I just have more, I think, control and flexibility and options. Castles, rook a to d1, rook a, ca, easy moves. Queen d2, easy move, tripling on the file here. Knight d7, rook d7 is a real threat. Knight c5 and queen f4. I thought this was brilliant. Queen f4 was an excellent move. After queen takes, rook takes, I wanted to play to keep the structure intact, but Bach pointed out, oh, we just take with the g-pawn, which is very nice. It controls e5. Yes, we have double pawns, but this pawn flanks is what they call this. It's not really anything. You have two weaker pawns here. So eventually what you're going to do is play e3, sometimes e4, but e3 to make sure everything's rock solid. Pretty nice structure though, believe it or not. After taking this way, knight c to e4, trying to get some trades, and we do get those trades. Knight takes, bishop takes, knight e5, bishop d5. We reach this position. It's equal. It's equal. White start expanding. a4, a5, stopping your b4 push. White says e4, tempo move, hit the bishop. Bishop b3, tempo right back at you. And then rook 1 to d3, tempo right back at you. This guy actually nice because I remember he checked him. We went back and then we went rook c1 and some other stuff. So pretty good. Yo, what's up, cakes? Sarami, thanks for the follow. Rook c1, bishop f1, bishop c2, and we pin it. Rook c3, rook d1. We can just trade, which happened. Take. Rook c4. Is rook c6 not? Oh, that's because it's hanging a4. Okay. So that's why you went rook c4, to defend both of these at the same time. Za, thanks for the follow. Rook to d8, knight c6. This is what we saw a lot of this, actually. We kind of came around here where they were starting. Knight c6, rook d2, I do remember this. And then he takes on a5, boom, hitting because there's a mate threat on the back rank. g6, sorry, let's go back. Okay, g6, no mate, rook check, and move the knight. Here, it's starting to look better. We have d2. We're hitting b6. Yeah, e4 is hanging, but so what? Okay, rook to c2. Can I take on b6? He didn't. He played b4. Interesting. I feel like I just take and push. But maybe it's not right. And the reason being is because of rook takes. And it takes and takes. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan is White. I like the practical choice of b4. Bishop e2 is a real threat, so do we got to move out the way? Yo, knight b6 says go for it. And wow, rook b1. That's playable too. Sweet. Sheesh, that's crazy. Bishop e2 is coming. King g2. Knight takes e4. Rook takes b4. Man, this was a grind. There was so many moves left from here. I don't even remember seeing this part of the game. a5 is brilliant. I'm just going to push. How did he stop me? And if I push... Rook here. Take push. Oh, yeah. Push, take. Well, no, I could push. Interesting. Can I not push this pawn? Oh, bishop f3 check. Oh, stupid check. Well, oh, yeah. It's a stupid check. Stupid check. Thanks for the follow there. Okay, rook c1. Still happened. Stupid check. King g1. Rook a3. Hitting the pawn. I could just push it. But knight c4 first. Knight e5, a6. Whoa. Oh, yeah, rook c7. That was a blunder. So here's where Duda blundered. Right here, he's supposed to play bishop h5. Now, nobody's playing that, bro. I mean, you got to give him some credit, bro. I mean, let me flip the board. Like, look at this. You're telling me you're not going to take this pawn and be on this diagonal? I guess it's just so bad. As you've seen in the game, when he takes on f7, you just are always like here on the 7th rank. Or I get the 7th rank. I mean, that's a hard game, bro. You can't, I mean, that's really hard. You have to play bishop h5 and then play g5. Yeah, I mean, good luck, right? Good luck with that. Bishop takes e4. It was immediately losing. Immediately, he already had the advantage. Rook c7 is now better. One move blunder, right? Like rook takes, king g8. And now the fact that this is here says that I always, when I get a pawn to a7, I can always end up checking you and queening. White just has all the play. a6, knight b4. Rook a7 defending, but they didn't like that. What did they like? f3? That's strange. And then h4. Yeah, that's some engine stuff. For real. Rook a7, knight c6. And he traded him. He did not. Rook c7. Knight d4. Oh, this is the part we saw. We actually were here watching this like 20, 30 minutes ago. He played f3. We saw this live. And after knight takes, bishop takes. We actually looked at this line for a minute here, which was draw-like. I think it's a7, bishop here. And then bishop c4 with the idea of if bishop takes, rook check, king moves, queening, rook takes, and like bishop e6 to f5 or bishop d5 to f6, and whatever, but this should be drawn, even though I'm down the exchange. Interesting, right? Here, not drawn. H4, a nice little weighty move, also stopping a potential rook takes h2. Rook a4, maybe threatening to capture. Bishop b5 hitting the rook. I think bishop c6 is after rook takes f4, right? Bishop c6 wins, yeah. And if take, you go back. Rook b6, done. Done. Thank you so much. Necrocron 2001, welcome to the stream. But going back, this is what happened in the game. A bishop to b5. Rook a5, and here I was trying to figure out what's the plan and idea here. It's tough. It was very tough, and then he found rook d7, which was nice. Bishop e2 and f1 were also moves. Method meme, thanks for the follow. Rook d7, rook a2 keeping me here, but I love this move by Ding as he plays king f1, bro. And just literally, I immediately saw the idea when he played king f1. I'm like, he's going here. He's going to try to sack the bishop, or sack the rook on the bishop, and take this rook, and then end up queening. But bishop g2 check, king e1, bishop d5, king d1, king h8, king c1, right? Like he's following the plan. And then bishop e4, which was beautiful, which cuts the king off. And so I had to find another maneuver. Also threatening stuff like rook c2 check, where you actually have to go back due to the discovery and strange situations. So rook c7 defends c2, very nice. Rook a5 attacks the bishop. He is threatening to take this, in fact. So he moved it, bishop d7, with the threat of bishop takes e6. Rook a1 check. I mean, desperado, really, at this point, this is already losing. Jessica and Klein, what's up, bro? King b2, check, king a2. Rook b6. Right, this is easy, though. We're just going to walk the king up. We talked about this, too, before we got to the analysis. That was it. Yeah, that was it. King a3, king g8, king up, and he resigned. The idea, we're just going to bring the king up here. It's game over. Engine says you should play g5, but let's just make moves, right? King here, bishop c6 ends it on the game, on the spot. Wow. I was just going to play king a5. That was the idea, but bishop c6 ends it right now. What a move. Because if rook takes, we queen. And if bishop takes, we take. And then queen. Sheesh. What a game. Shout out to Big Ding, boy. He got that ding with the dub, bro. Ding with the dub. What's up, Kenty? How's it going? I'm good, Stormy. How are you? So we looked at the Fabi game. We looked at the Ding Liren game. Let's look at Alireza and Richard Rapport. This is Alireza's first win. Shout out to him. Let's go. First candidate's first win. Hans, man, thanks for the follow. E5, I mean, I'm sure Richard probably plays it, but I didn't see, I just didn't think this game was his best. All theory, knight d4. An interesting move. Does happen. I love this knight a3 move with knight c4, d4, but this is hanging right now. c6 and bishop a4 with the idea of maybe tucking the bishop. d6, he went the b3 route though. Queen e7 and the knight swings over to c4. Knights on the rim are dim, so we had to put it somewhere like c4. Gotta like how the only game that would really matter isn't decisive. Funny, right? Bishop g4, queen e1, I'm a big fan of it. I already see the vibes like this. I gotta play king h1, and I gotta go f4. Bishop c5, what did he do? I gotta go king h1. He went king h1. a5, I gotta go f4. So he plays f4. I mean, come on, bro. This is an easy one, right? Easy one in terms of attacking chess. I'm an attacking player. You already know this. So king h1, we play f4. We about to just go for mate, bro. Like, what are you doing with your life over here? What is this? Like, what are those, right? So ugly stuff. a4, bishop c2, b5. And so what? Take first, take again. I mean, this was a nice attacking game. And then d4, get my piece back, appreciate it. And now watch this. Look, yo, king in the center. Bro, yo, king in the center of the board, bro. I'm about to mate you, my guy. I'm about to literally go for mate. So he played bishop e3. I like this. I was also a fan of bishop d2. Really big fan of bishop d2. And after queen takes, rook c1. With the idea of defending and playing bishop c3 next and hitting f6, queen h4. I mean, come on, I'm mating. Like, this is mating. You are not surviving this. You just can't. I've been watching. Thank you, bro. Thanks, King Bishop. You've been watching the event. Queen takes d4, bishop e3. I think he played it the same way. And what I mean by that is after queen takes b2, he played it in a different variation where he still wants to go bishop d4. And maybe not give up a second pawn too as well, just in case you're wrong about it. You were giving up b2 and a2 after rook c1. Bishop e6 backs it up. Bishop d4, we attack the queen, and of course he has to move it, so he goes queen b4. And then bishop c5, look at the tempi. Now you can't castle. You're not castling. And are you going this way? No, come on now. You're not going to castle queen side. So queen c3, not attacking anything. Look at the tempi I got, right? Like, how can you tell me, first off, that this is zeros? Bruh. Look at the engine, talking about zeros. Like, they have lost their mind if you think this is zeros. Let's flip the board. How do you feel in this position with the black pieces? You telling me this zeros right here. You're telling me that you're going to draw this game right now. Oh, yeah. It's zero. I got compensation. Okay, you about to compensate this L right across your face. You about to compensate a big L, my guy. Like, what is this? This is garbage. This is really bad position. Your king's in the center. You can't castle. Your queen then moved how many times? And you talking about I'm equal, right? This is why you only take the engine's evaluations with a grain of salt, right? And you have to, like, remember that you're playing a human and not an engine. So rook a to c1, rook to d8, right? With the file stuff here. Bishop b1, beautiful, keeping the diagonal too as well, just in case I let you out and you try to castle. But in fact, you ain't gonna castle this game, my guy. Bruh. I promise you. Queen e5, he gets out the way. And then queen h4. I like this move. I also think that maybe he's trying to rook lift. Maybe he can even sack at some point. Maybe even rook f5. Which after bishop c4, I mean, that just gives me a free move, rook f5. It was like gifted, that move. Like, thanks, bro. Like, I wanted to do this. What do you mean? What are you doing? That you actually, what are you doing right now? So after queen to b2, he attacks the rook. And we can't double. So we go rook g1. Or maybe could have run rook e1 too. Or rook g1. Where's g1? What are you doing exactly? Thanks for the follow, Ego. What is he doing? Bishop to e6, attacking the rook. And he doesn't even move it. He plays queen g3. Like, yo. Oh my goodness, bro. This was like, whoa. Whoa. I mean, we got to see what happens, right? After takes, right? And now we can't castle. I mean, if I run for the heels, oh my goodness. I'm going to just show y'all this real quick. If I try to run for the heels, queen d6, king c8, takes. I mean, come on now. What do you even do? Bishop takes, pawn takes, my king in the center, and rook e1 is coming. Like, you can't even stop this. You can't even stop this, bro. You can't even stop it. It's next week, Net. Next week, they're trying to get the date. Is it zeros now? Exactly, zeros now, huh? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, zeros, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought, right? Queen c3, and then knight to d7, attacking the bishop. Attacking the bishop? Of course, he's not going to give it up. So he plays bishop d6. Beautiful move. Queen to d4. I mean, at this point, I knew Richard Rapport was like, bro, what did I do? How did I get here? Queen to d4, rook f1. I wonder why he didn't double, though. Maybe he just didn't want to. Is something wrong with doubling? Maybe can he just take it now? He can. How is this not losing? Knight f6. Oh, he goes, what? Bro, this is some engine stuff for real. I can't go this way now. I can't go to c7 anymore. So rook e1 check, he just tuck and roll and get out of there. Interesting. What up, Tom? Okay, so rook f1, h5 with some h4 intentions. Oh, what's up, ChessCom? What's good? ChessCom Italy? I think that's Italy. Chesscom IT. Thank you so much for the rate. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're doing a recap right now as we're looking at Alireza versus Richard Rapport here in this game. And then we are posting on YouTube, as we always do, for the YouTube people who have not, don't even know what Twitch is. So, of course, we got to drop something over there for them, too. Okay, so E5, queen to G4. And what did he play here? Well, we can't trade. Maybe one of these. Queen E3, got it. H4, H3 is nice. You don't want him to play H3. Queen H5. All right, here we go. How do we close it? How do we finish this game right now? Rook F4. No. I mean, that's kind of passive. Maybe here. I like Bishop E4. It hits the pawn. Hits the pawn. Next week, Ned. Next week. Y'all go over Nepo versus Fabi yet? Oh, yeah, we did. We went over that one. We did. Bishop E4. It does hit the pawn. Thanks for the follow, Nuke. Queen H6. You got to be out your mind. I think I'm trading anything. Queen F3. That's a pawn. King in the center. Rook's disconnected. This is a crush, bro. You getting crushed. F6. Man, fine gold tripping. Plus, it's just don't work. You're in trouble. Bishop takes C6. King F7, bro. Jeez. King F7. I'll take another one. Queen H5. Queen E4. Bro, this was so bad. I mean, like, not that he, like, you can't do anything. He took on E5, guys. He took on E5 and just dropped the piece right after Bishop E2, Queen G5, and Bishop takes E5. And he just resigned. Like, bro. He kind of crushed him. I'm not going to lie. This is the Firouzja everybody was hoping to see. But it took him 9 rounds to finally get a game like this. But, I mean, it tells you the caliber of how strong these players are. I mean, this was like a tactical, beastly. I mean, this is the games I play. This is the type of stuff I'm trying to get every game as white or black. It doesn't matter what color. I'm trying to mate and get these type of tactics. I mean, this is a beautiful attacking game. Takes, Bishop E3. Oh, yeah, I'll get this whole thing up. You can have both of them, my guy. Right, and if I'm mating you, takes Queen F2. I like this. He didn't give up the second one. I mean, it was white the whole game. Bishop D4. Right, you had to go on the diagonal where. I mean, like, look at this. Right, how can you say you have any type of conversation with your king in the center here? Rook C1. This was just an easy game. Honestly, I think this was an easy game for Firouzja, which makes confidence. I'm feeling great. Right, just equal. Exactly right. Come on, right. Now look at this position. Like, never in your life, and this is what I want you to do, chat, especially for people that don't understand how to read the engine as much. Never in your life take the engine from what it's saying. Oh, it's equal. Well, the position, like, and you'll see, I even see this with students sometimes too. Oh yeah, the analysis said I was equal here, so I went for this line. But if you have to play this as a human, and the engine telling you that this is equal, you have a problem. There's a problem. There's a huge problem here. Huge problem. Don't play these type of positions if they telling you it's equal. It's very bad. The Hikaru draw, yeah, he actually lost the game. Sorry, it's a tough game. We went over. We were actually going to cover it next. Charlotte Chess Center in the building. What's up? I'm gonna see y'all next month. I will be getting there, and I'm about to norm up, chat. So let's get the energy for that. You know, I'm about to be at Charlotte Chess Center next month. Shout out to Charlotte Chess Center. That's right. This Dark Bishop did so much job. Yeah, he went nuts. I mean, he snapped. He literally snapped. So now after this, right? Okay, perfect. So this was the game. This was that game. Now here's the last one. Yes, I am norming. Yeah, definitely. I'm norming up next month. It's time. So it's what's the last game here? We're looking at this one. This was a tough game, bro. Tough game for our boy Hikaru. Definitely rooting for Hikaru. In order, of course, everyone can pick who you like. In my order, of course, was Hikaru first, Fabiano, and then Firouzja. For my candidates picks, of course, Hikaru, my guy, been on a long time too as well. So yeah, Hikaru first, Fabi second, and then it was Firouzja. Because of course the American players I wanted to win. And then Firouzja was my next. But yeah, what's the leaderboard looking right now? And a great question, Darian. We'll check it out and then get into this game. The results here, as you see, big dog Jan up there flexing real hard flex for the people in the back, just like that. That man doing his thing. 6.5, leading the pack. Of course, a full point behind above Fabi, who just drew. They just drew, right? And didn't they already play both games? From what I can't remember if they played already. Like, this is their second. They only played twice. So I think they did. But if they haven't, then that's coming around. Maybe they did. No, maybe they didn't. Yeah, I don't think they did. But 6.5. So 6.5 for Jan, 5.5 for Fabi, and Hikaru with 4.5, Ding with 4.5. Rajabov with 4, Alireza with 4, Richard Rapport, and Duda is having a rough time right now with only 3. They did 2 scores, 1 versus 2. Okay. Duda with 3. That's tough. I mean, even dude is still 2,700, right? 27 piece, having a difficulty here. Difficult time. Okay, let's look at this last game. So this one was definitely a heartbreaker, man, because we rooting for Hikaru, right? And here's what happened. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, right? This is all stuff we used to. The Berlin, right? I mean, Hikaru was very, very strong with this. Extremely strong, right? So really, really, really nice stuff. And he knows this like the back of his hand. Wasn't round 9 today? Yes. In fact, round 9 was today. But no, that was the standings. It updates immediately, actually. So 6.5. They drew today, so that put him from 6 to 6.5. So knight to c6, bishop c5, c3, and then castles and castles. And then d5, right? I remember seeing more d6. d5 is number 3 on the engine, but I do remember seeing, I just remember playing always d6. But d5, I mean, he's a Berlin player, so let him play his plus, like d5, right? d5 takes, we go a5, which is his theory still. Queen c2 and queen e7. a4. And here, this got kind of complicated, right? Knight a7, you got knight d8, knight b8. What he chose was knight a7. Me and Bach looked at this. Bishop e2, he did go back, knight c6, and says, you want to repeat? Always repeat once for kind of thing, right? Knight to b3, hitting the bishop. And bishop a7, I thought this was brilliant. Nice, just keeping the bishop on the diagonal. If you go bishop e3, we could capture it, and the e3 is just super weak. Super weak. And here, this was the part where Hikaru just kind of blundered. I mean, it wasn't blunder, it was the wrong idea. He said he thought that he was getting more of an attack than what he got from the game. Right, after bishop b5, he played bishop g4, which just doesn't give the type of play he was looking for. He thought he had an attack, and it was too optimistic, is what he said. That's his words, too optimistic. Bishop to b6 is a move. Tough to play, to be honest, but the idea here is defending the pawn. It's just defending the pawn. But this got, I mean, weirdly just rough. Not to mention, one thing to notice is this pawn structure is really hard to face. From both sides. If you're playing white or black, you'll see this a lot in a PHILIDOR or Scandinavian, sometimes Carol Khans. But it depends, right? Well, C3 and E4, and with black, C6, E5. These are important, a very important structure I always like to point out, because this pawn, you have 2 pawns, but they actually control basically all the center. Everything but one square, really. I mean, of course, we have a pawn on 1, right? So 4 squares in the center. And it's good to understand the structure. 4 pawns and 4 squares, right? We got 1 pawn on 1, influence on this one, and then here. So you're not going to put a piece here as black. We're just not going to put a piece on d4. So virtually, we got 3 out of 4 squares in the center that we're working with, which is nice. It's very nice. Black, on the other hand, I have a pawn on 1 and this. So actually, I have 2 out of 4. Not 4, not 3, right? I have 2, which is not the greatest. So this structure actually is very, very solid. It's very annoying to face here. And of course, what we do have with black here is going for this attack. Queen e6, knight h5, f5, and just trying to blow everything open. But it just does not work. After b takes c6, knight takes a5. Hikaru played very accurate. Queen e6, right move, defend. Queen e2, knight h5, right move, trying to get some chances. b4, I mean, honestly, this was JOBAVA's best game. He was very accurate here. King h8, king h1. It's already starting to look a little rough here. h6, I didn't even understand. I'm like, bro, Bach didn't even understand this one. Like, we were sitting here like, he played h6, top engine move, and we like, bro, what does this even do, bro? Like, when Bach was like, I don't even know. Benjamin Bach, like, I don't even know what this move do, bro. So, of course, make sure we go watch the Hikaru recap. I am going to go watch it, because we got to see, like, what's up with this. We might watch it together here on the stream. But, like, h6 was like, bro, what is this? So, I definitely got to go get some clarification from his recap, because he did post it. So, rook to g1 was played, and f5. And f5 was just wrong, but, I mean, it's just hard. Actually, here, in fact, back here, there was actually saying, too, there was chances to get your pawn back. After knight takes a5, queen here, queen here. He was like, you know, and we saw this too. Me and Bach looked at this after bishop takes, rook takes a5. And I mean, even Hikaru in post-game analysis in the interview, he was saying, you know, like, this is miserable. And that was the right word to use. This is a miserable position to play. You don't have the king side attack anymore. It could easily be blunted here with a rook g2, king f1. I'm out your way. Like, what are you doing? If you're not getting anything, big fella, like, try again. Try another day. Like, everything is, you're not mating me. And you don't have the right pieces. So after a b4, I mean, white has all the play over here. It's just miserable to play. But this was the way to play. Yes, it's miserable, but I mean, how miserable really is it? You move the rook over. You might even be able to grab the c4 square, but he's going to play a5. But you need to be careful. Let's say like knight d7, bishop b3, knight d7. You know, a5. You still could go knight b6, right? With the idea of putting the knight on c4, right? So, you know, this is possible. This could have been played, but it didn't. He played with knight h5 going for what I would honestly probably try to go for too. Knight h4, b4, king h8, stepping out the way. King h1, h6, and I thought we was gonna see a rook g8, g5 stuff, but it's too slow. Too slow. Rook g1, f5 from Hikaru. We gotta open up. We gotta try it. Rook g2, and actually, wait, what was back here? Pawn takes. Rook f6. We looked at so many lines here, bro. This game was such a low. Like there was so much out of this game. RSQ and 316. Thanks for the follows. Rook g2, f takes e4, queen takes e4. I think if pawn takes, what did we want on pawn takes? I don't remember, but this didn't give us any problems. Queen h3 apparently is just very good. You're also threatening rook takes f2, so if he does something stupid like bishop d2, you can hit him here. Spink! Oh my goodness. This is a family channel. Rook takes f2, hit him! Right, and after rook takes, make sure y'all hitting y'all tactics every day. I mean, come on now, this is gross. This is gross. Don't forget the bishop over here. So let's go back. And that didn't happen. We wanted that to happen. Amir spend time outside. And Mito, thanks for the follows. So after f takes e4, it was queen takes e4 with threatening queen takes c6. Me and Bach looked at the line with queen h3. But the problem is queen g4 wins on the spot.
Another one.
INF, thanks for the 7 months prime, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So right, what happens? Pawn takes, queen takes, rook f6, defending c6. Also maybe some doubling aspects. Bishop e3 had to trade these off, and this is where it's starting to look ugly. Right here, the engine says queen d5. That's so hard to play. But even here, we got queen d5 off, and Raja gives us, I mean, first off, engine say best move is rook e2. Bruh. What are you talking about, right? Nobody's playing this. And we was like, yo, if Raja played this, bro, we need to, like, check his water. Or, like, you know, like, we need to check to see, you know, he ain't getting no assistance. Because this move right here is ridiculous. Rook e2 out of all the moves, right? And, of course, he doesn't play it. So, it's queen g4, so we have to call them people and get them checked. So, queen takes f4, right? Queen takes, f3, takes. And we feel like we actually have something here. We get here. By the way, they're in time trouble. This is their real time, 10 minutes and 12 minutes. At one point, Hikaru was down 50 minutes on the clock and was able to get a position here where, I mean, white's better, but it's a lot of play left. He finds c5, brilliant move. Obviously, rook takes a5, trying to dislodge this pawn, make it weak, maybe bring the rook back, try to attack this. But c5, he plays knight c6, brilliant move. And the hard move to find here, very hard move to find, even in time trouble too as well. Hikaru mentioned this, but it was knight f6. Knight f6 is a hard move to make. And there's so much to calculate, and he didn't have enough time either. But knight f6 was the right move. Taking immediate, look at the eval bar jump. You see that? Look at that. Like a little workout, doing reps. 1, 2, 3, right? Like this is bad. Immediate. It's a huge difference. Huge difference. It's hard to see that, you know? It's really hard to, you know, as a human, especially, you would almost instantly take this. Like, all right, cool, deal with one. But also, you know, pawn takes c5, you have knight f6, knight e4. So knight f6 is what I liked, and if takes, you have knight e4. And if knight takes e5, you can play rook to f5. And then maybe bring the knight around to maybe not d5 because there's a fork, but knight e4 once again. We're just going to bully these pawns. It's whatever. It's really whatever. Hikaru mentioned b5 as a line, and we was like, knight d5, me and Bach. Knight d5, hitting this. And I think he said a5, like just push that boy, but a5 runs into knight takes c3. And then rook b2, which is threatening the pawn. And I think we take on e3. And then if b6, right? b6, we just take, obviously. But you have a6. But eventually, we're going to sack on this, too. We're going to sack on both these pawns. Like, we're going to get both these pawns, or at least we're going to try to, and use what we have. And, I mean, we'll be happy with the draw here after what happened in the game. Yuhan, thanks for the follow. So he takes b4, was in the game. He takes back, and then rook f6. And look at the eval bar say that, you know, Hikaru down a rook. And he is not down a rook. The material even, and they say that the material is not even. It's real rough right here. It's real rough right here. Anna Cramley, what's up, girl? Thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good one. Hope you had a great stream. We are doing the last of the recap right here from the candidates. Shout out to you, Anna Cramley. Get a shout out to her. Thanks for the raid. Hope you had a great stream once again. Shout out to you all real quick. Anna Cramley, what's up, girl? JP, thanks for hanging out with us and the follow there. XIM. And shout out to us. Thanks, guys. What's up? So we look at this Hikaru game. It's dreadful. It hurt, man. It hurt to watch. Hurt to watch because I'm rooting for my guy, right? So rook f6, b5 was here. After this b5 move, we did find rook to d6, which is rook d6 is just trying to do whatever. If knight takes, I think we had rook d5, right? If knight takes e5, you have rook d5. So now we're back in the game. Believe it or not. You go anywhere with the knight. Of course, obviously not here, but something like this. We take on b5, and this is for sure a draw. For sure. a draw here. Thanks for the follow. Dexter. Roger would lose to Nepo, I bet. Because Timor lived in a long time ago. And then they buddies. What's up, Jason? Okay, so refresh the page. Rook d6. a5 happens. After the a5 move, knight f6. And Hikaru is desperately trying to hold here. Something, I mean, out of nowhere, you know, Raja just became all of his 2750 rating. Like, how did, you know, today he finally want to be 2750 plus. Like, only today, right? And it's kind of like he found every accurate move for a while now. a6, knight d7. I mean, there was nothing we could do. There was literally nothing we could do. At this point, it's just kind of over. a7, king g8, rook c2, king f7. And look at the time, by the way. Look at the time. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, right? And we'll move 34 here. We're thinking that, of course, Rajabov's getting low on time. Look at the time. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They got 6 moves to make here for time, right? And then now 5. c5. I found this move. I was like, what? And right here, right after this, let's go back right here. This move right here, night before, we like, oh, this is a wrap. I mean, it's already looking bad, but I mean, Hikaru with the fine, like, ugh, c5, like, oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, snap. That was actually a move. En passant played and knight b6. That was his whole idea, to put the knight back on c8. And rook a7 ideas. e4 played, right? He want to put the knight on e4. Knight c8. Rook defends the pawn. I mean, if we could get rid of both of these, we would actually have some good drawing chances. But it's hard to do that. And, you know, you can't get rid of both of these without giving up everything. King e6. Rook a6 played. Rook to d4 attacking the knight. Knight d5. It's getting sad here. King d6. And knight b6. And Hikaru resigns. And it hurt. Of course, you saw, like, you could see he was like just hurt, bro, at the chair. I mean, because I mean, you know, we play tournament chess, or for the tournament players out there, you know, sitting there realizing you're going to lose this game, and you have to pull yourself together to resign here. And it took him a while. He sat here for a minute. He also made time control. Look at this, right? Knight d5, rook d4 was made with like 7 seconds on the clock. Maybe not, actually, no. So there's no increment. So in fact, he had 30 seconds playing rook d4, 37. And then knight d5 played, and the man has a full hour to convert this position. King d6, knight b6, and Hikaru resigns. It's a tough game, man. Hard game, tough stuff. One wrong decision here. Of course, in chess, it's like that. But one wrong decision. Instead of playing, he went for this bishop g4 idea. Now, even here, it was still very playable. Bishop g4 was the wrong idea. Bishop b6 and queen e6 were just better. Actually, h6 is kind of strange, but bishop b6 makes a lot of sense because you're defending a5. But of course, it happened. It is what it is, and we got 5 rounds left. As you see, let's actually take a look at the standings here to see what's going on. Standings results. Here we go. 6.5 for Jan, 5.5 for Fabiano. Hikaru with 4.5, and Ding with 4.5. Rajabov with 4, everybody else with 4, and then Duda with 3 there. So there's like 5 rounds left. Actually, they updated it with this 6.5. That's how much he has, but it doesn't say round 9 yet, which is interesting. They don't have the round 9 up yet, but he does have 6.5. Jan does. So this was round 9. So there's 5 rounds left. 5 rounds left. Jan's at the top up there. There's still a lot of chess left. Imagine, you know, Hikaru gets something like 3.5 out of the next 5. Like, what could happen there? That could be a shakeup, you know. But of course, Jan has a lot of whites left, and it's tough. You know, Fabi is also there too as well. Don't count him out. And you got Ding, who just got a dub, and now it's the same score as Hikaru. So honestly, you don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest. But of course, this was the recap, guys. Make sure y'all here for the next one. This was round 9, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure you guys sub to the YouTube.